Now, in order to consider amendment number 241, printed in Part B of House Report 116-119, for what purpose does the gentleman from Washington seek recognition?
I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk would designate the amendment.
Amendment number 241, printed in Part B of House Report number 116-119, offered by Mr. Heck of Washington.
Pursuant to House Resolution 445, the gentleman from Washington, Mr. Heck, and a member opposed, each will control 5 minutes.
I yield myself.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield myself as much time as I may consume. My amendment is about creating economic opportunities in Indian country. It is about improving housing conditions and creating jobs and helping Native communities meet their community development needs. It's a bipartisan amendment, and it provides an additional $5 million for the Indian Community Development Block Grant Program, which is one of the most flexible, most competitive grant programs of its time, and might I add, one of the most effective. Frankly, I was disappointed to see the President's budget request attempt to eliminate the program, especially when the problem statement associated with the need to increase our investment in infrastructure is so clear. I've said it before, and I will say it again here today. We are in the middle of a housing crisis, in large part because we simply do not have enough homes. While it's true that housing shortages exist across the country, nowhere is the issue more pronounced than it is in Native American communities. Native Americans experience worse housing conditions and a higher incidence of homelessness than nearly every other demographic. You know, one of the most important duties I have as a member of Congress is ensuring the sovereignty of the 4 tribes in my district that I have the privilege to represent, and the 29 tribes in my state, and to help them as they work to provide better opportunities for tribal members. That is our federal trust responsibility. Cutting this program violates that trust responsibility. And so I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting the Indian Community Development Block Grant Program, and in doing so, supporting the many Native American communities who will benefit from it. Finally, I'd like to thank my colleagues, Representatives Don Young and Gwen Moore and Jared Huffman, Deb Holland, and Tulsi Gabbard for joining me in offering this bipartisan amendment. And I also want to sincerely thank Chairman Price and his staff for putting together such a comprehensive appropriations package that funds our nation's vital transportation and housing programs. Thank you. I urge the adoption of this amendment, and I reserve my time, and I now yield to the gentleman from North Carolina.
The gentleman from North Carolina is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, we're happy to reserve on this time, on this side.
Does the gentleman from Washington reserve?
I reserve.
Gentleman from Washington reserve. The gentleman from Florida.
Ready
For what purpose does the gentleman from
Thank you, Mr.
Florida?
Chairman. I'm ready to yield back.
The gentleman claims time in opposition and yields back. The gentleman from Washington has the remaining time.
I yield back. Reserve. I yield to the gentleman from North Carolina.
The gentleman from North Carolina is recognized.
Mr. Chair, I rise to support this amendment. The Indian Community Development Block Grant Program provides Indian tribes and Alaska Native villages the opportunity to compete for a flexible source of funding to address pressing housing and community needs in Indian country. We know the needs continue to exceed the funding available. In fiscal year 2017, HUD was able to fund only 62% of the eligible applications it's received. That's why we provided in the bill $75 million, a $10 million increase over last year for the program, and this amendment would further increase that to $80 million. I support this amendment and the strong investment it would make possible, but I do want to express a note of concern about the offsetting cut to HUD's Cybersecurity and Information Technology Fund. HUD's facing daunting challenges to upgrade their technology infrastructure. So as we head into conference negotiations with the Senate, I'm hopeful we can reach a comprehensive bipartisan agreement that makes it possible to boost funding both for critical housing programs and for IT modernization at HUD. Again, I thank the gentleman and urge adoption of his amendment and yield back.
The gentleman from Washington. Gentleman from Washington.
I reserve.
The gentleman has the remaining time.
Very good. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank the chair of the subcommittee again very much. It seems to me that often around here we have solutions in search of problems, but that's absolutely not the case in this instance. The problem statement here is clear. It is screaming in its need and the depth of the need, and as a consequence, I again thank the chair of the subcommittee and the bipartisan co-sponsors of this amendment, and I urge its adoption. And with that, I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman, the question is on the amendment offered by the gentleman from Washington. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to. It is now in order to consider amendment number 244, printed in Part B